Well, hello everyone. Welcome out to the stream. We're in some Challenger solo queue in the middle of an invade. Daydreamin gonna lead the charge, hoping for a grab with his rocket grab. Oh, but missing it through. Boblos comes in here, throwing down the Void Ooze. And it looks like there's actually the engage from Jacka with a good pulverized. Warmonger tries to flash away, but doesn't make it over the wall, and that's a first blood for Mega Zero on Rumble. Dragon Raider is exhausted. The flash slow from Boblos, keeping Nintendo X. Oh, but not quite for long enough. He flashes over the wall to safety. Now Jacka really looking for another pick. Oh, Daydreamin, if he can get this grab, might be able to turn it around, but it looks like our team 420 may be able to escape with the first blood. Oh, Daydreamin's still looking for the grab. He throws the trinket over the wall, but now he's running into a 1 versus 3. Oh, he grabs in Void Boss. Void Boss survives for now. Mega Zero in the middle of the team, but he's not in too much danger. The ignite on his head. He's falling lower and lower. The flash and Orbit Deception in is not enough to finish, and Mega Zero escapes with barely any health. Boblos with no flash may go down here. Oh, they still don't have enough to finish him off. The grab in onto Sunar, but the barrier keeps him alive for long enough. No, Daydreamin does not fall. Boblos was able to escape. Jacka may not be so lucky. The vault in and the Orbit Deception. Oh, Jacka. Oh, Jacka. There he goes down. A good pulverize going to keep Daydreamin in place for a second, but still 2 kills picked up on the return here from Team YOLO. I've named my team YOLO in 420 because I am a teenager in 2010 who hates myself. And so that was a really exciting start to the game, but we can go back over, relax a little bit, and just take a look at these teams. Over here on the blue side, Team YOLO, we have Nintendo X in the jungle with Warmonger in the top lane playing Quinn. Daydreamin will be in the bottom lane supporting Dragon Raider. And finally, Palefire taking up the middle lane on Ari. Over on our red team, Team 420, Swag YOLO for Jesus, No Scope, MLG. I might have shortened that a little bit. Mega Zero up in the top lane. We have Boblos in the middle on some Kog'Maw. Void Boss in the jungle with Pantheon, and as I pressed the wrong hotkey, now going back down here, Jacka and Sunar as support and AD carry. And the gold coming here over in Team YOLO's favor early on. Oh, the good rocket grab in on the Jacka and the knockup. Daydreamin is already level 2, and Jacka doesn't have a flash. The net in is almost enough, but he heals himself and he does escape. Dragon Raider doesn't have the range needed to take him out, and that's a really close escape. Void Boss recalling at level 2 after taking the blue, not feeling confident enough to move in onto the red buff right after. That will set him a bit behind, and actually it's going to let Nintendo Dex come in for the steal. Nintendo Dex is already level 3, and he can lie in wait here. If he fights Void Boss, he'll most certainly win. He has double buffs and level 3. Nintendo Dex now drags the red buff over here far away from Void Boss. Void Boss is going to walk straight into the bush, and he expects Nintendo Dex to be there. Nintendo Dex has a good ward in the pit, but the issue is he can't see into that bush. He's going to walk in blind. I still think he might be able to take this. No, Void Boss smites it away. He grabs it, and now they're both level 3. Void Boss sticking around this minion isn't going to be isolated. Nintendo Dex actually falls too low. Void Boss gets it with the spear shot and takes it out in the jungle, fending off the invade. Oh, Warmonger going in hard on the Mega Zero. Mega Zero has the ignite down. He auto-attacks, and he gets it with the Flame Spitter and ignite. Warmonger not able to attack quite fast enough, and not grabbing the 1 versus 1 up against Mega Zero. Really solid Rumble play there. Brings his team back in the lead in kills and in gold. Now 500 over. Not too much. Maybe, you know, just an early Doran's item, but that could easily snowball out. One lane gets a little bit ahead. Sunar and Jacka holding their own in the bottom after dying a couple of times in that early invade. And Caitlyn not able to snowball off of that early made too much. She did get a kill, but it really just resulted in an earlier Vampiric Scepter. Now with some potions, she'll be coming back to lane, but Sunar should feel safe recalling here after shoving out the minion wave. Sunar will probably miss this minion wave walking in right here. At least half of it will most likely die to the minion wave, but Sunar's going to try and come down here as quick as possible. Realize that the item disparity is a little bit more important than getting a couple minions. Palefire definitely playing an aggressive mid lane here. Ari is so powerful against Kog'Maw since the taunt really dispositions Boblos here and can put him in a rough spot. Kog'Maw not the best at escaping, especially if a Spirit Rush Ari chases on. But Palefire might be in a rough spot. Palefire doesn't have the Spirit Rush. Oh, but Nintendo X is there for the counter gank. The Ignite goes on to Void Boss and forces the Flash away as he bites off a little bit more than he can stomach. You know, he always wanted to be a baker, but apparently he can't bake his cake and eat it too. Sunar and Jaka now realizing they have to play a lot safer up against Dragon Raider, who seems to be pretty strong. Oh, but Daydreamin walks all the way in here under the turret range, gets the grab and the knockup. Void Boss goes down to Nintendo X. Daydreamin's taking a lot of damage. He pops the mana barrier. That's going to be able to escape, and that was a huge roam from Blitzcrank, leaving Caitlyn down bot, who's actually shoving out the wave 1 versus 2. That's a really, really good spot for Team YOLO to be in right now. And Daydreamin with the roams. Jack is going to go in and maybe punish Daydreamin for the early damage he took, but he's not in too much trouble right now. Oh, Sunar steps on the trap and has to flash. The rocket grab now turns around. The exhaust went down to Dragon Raider, and he has to flash in return away from the zap. Nintendo X comes up from behind. Sunar will be slowed up, doesn't have the flash, and should go down. No, Nintendo X turns his attention onto Jaka, but gets knocked up. He didn't go to finish Sunar. Sunar gets excited, grabs a double kill, and gets the double buffs as well. Comes in onto Dragon Raider, throws the barrier, and he's still alive. No, he's going to go down. Dragon Raider gets the double buffs, and now goes on to Jaka. If he can land... No, he's not going to continue on. That was an intense fight. Nintendo X really overestimating him. Well, I'm not sure if he overestimated or underestimated himself there. I feel like he could have won the 1 versus 1, but instead he turned onto Jaka, which enabled a perfect pulverize. In the end, though, it'll be 2 kills for Team 420, 1 kill for Team YOLO. And still a slight advantage over there to our red buddies. Megazero seems to be doing very well up in the top lane. 2 kills on himself already, and about 15 CS in the lead. A couple of waves that he's been able to shut Warmogger out of. Quinn into Rumble is a pretty interesting matchup. Quinn definitely has some very favorable top lane matchups. Pretty much anyone who thrives off of auto-attacking. Someone like Tryndamere or maybe even a Jax would be excellent for Quinn to take up against, because Quinn can kite, Quinn can blind, and might be able to outdamage them as well if she gets enough items on herself. Ooh, let's see how she can do up against Megazero with Palefire gank, and it looks like it's going to be far too much for Megazero to escape from. Even though his flash was up, there was no way he could get away from not only the movement speed from the Warmogger's swap into Valor, but also from the Spirit Brush out of Ahri. Now Palefire grabbing up the blue is going to be pretty strong here, roaming a couple times, picking up a 2-0-2 score early, which is going to make it a really fearsome character on the entire map, since it's difficult to, you know, stay safely under your turret when there's an Ahri there. A Spirit Rush over a wall into a charm can result in a safe position turning into a kill immediately, and that's going to bring Team YOLO into the gold advantage for the first time in a while. Nintendo X walking through the jungle, spotted out by Void Boss. He has the level advantage. Let's see if Void Boss wants to go in. Megazero might come up here. They're also pulling off Bob Lowls. Nintendo X walks into the bush. Void Boss goes in for the stun, but Nintendo X stealths, turns back around on the Void Boss to taste their fear, doing massive damage. Bob Lowls tries to land the Acathian surprise. No, he's not able to get it. And now, with Palefire coming in from the side, he flashes over, grabs the auto attack. Palefire will fall here to Megazero, who does grab a kill. So it's a 1-for-1 in the jungle. And the red buff not actually going over to anyone. Sorry, I referred to Kog'Maw's ultimate as Acathian Surprise. Of course, as his passive, his ultimate is Bio Arcane Artillery. No, it's not Bio... What is it? It's Bio something. Living Artillery. Well, I'm going to make mistakes out the wazoo. Luckily for me, Kog'Maw isn't that plate of a champion. So he's going for an AP Kog'Maw, which I can talk about for a little while. We've seen it in some professional play, actually, mostly from Froggen over in EU. And what AP Kog'Maw allows you is a lot of ranged siege over time. It's not like Xerath, where he can lay out his damage in a burst, but it's much more consistent, guaranteed damage. The issue is that, similar to siege champions like Kog'Maw, like Xerath, like Lux maybe, he is very, very squishy and mobile. And so if you jump onto a Kog'Maw, then he is just going to try and lay down that slow, maybe try and get a Zhonya's if he gets to that point, because he just needs to try and survive. But ultimately, he just wants to keep his range, since his living artillery has such an enormous range. Ooh, Grand Skyfall coming down bottom. And speaking of range, that near global range going to come right onto Dragon Raider's head with the Super Mega Death Rocket, taking it out. Now Daydreamin, the next one to fall. No, Void Boss goes way too far into the turret. Nintendo X turns this around. Sunar turns around with the zap and grabs a double kill. That'll get him excited enough to escape from Nintendo Dex. They turn it back around. Jacka runs into the turret range. Why, Jacka? Okay, phew. Nintendo Dex didn't grab the kill. That was really close. Sunar will be able to keep his support alive from Nintendo X, since just 1-2 auto attacks should bring him the kill. There have been some interesting plays this game. Definitely a lot of greed. A lot of over-aggression and just kills traded back and forth. Palefire wants these double buffs for himself. Jinx looking to run away. She has Jacka with him. No, Jacka flashes. Nintendo X is able to grab it out. Now Palefire comes, misses the charm, but has the Spirit Rush to try and jump away. Nintendo X comes in with the Taste Their Fear. Does massive damage, but he gets shut down before he can grab the kill. That's 500 gold that Jinx was able to claim. However, the shutdown in return will give the gold advantage in that trade over to Team YOLO. Going back to Kog'Maw, the Archangel Staff in the Seraph's Embrace build is very, very common, since spamming out the living artillery is very mana heavy. Every living artillery you use within a certain time frame costs more mana than the last, so that if you use one after the other, it'll eventually cost you big time. So an Archangels will help relieve some of the mana costs, and it allows you to keep those up from the back of a team fight. If you can get within auto attack range using your W, it does scale off of ability power, so it does percentage-based damage on auto attack based on your AP. And then finally the Q and the E. His Caustic Spittle and his Void Ooze also scale off ability power, so he can deal a lot of damage. It's definitely a unique pick, and against someone like Ahri, who's incredibly mobile and can deal massive burst damage, it's a pretty rough pickup. But if he can stay safe on the back, they might be able to dish out a little bit more damage in fights, just depending on how he can position here. Right now, with the gold this close, it's really going to be up to who can take the first dragon, who can grab out maybe one more turret than the enemy. So far, the only turret to be taken is in the bottom lane from Team 420. And they've kept their own alive for now. That's what's keeping them in the very, very minuscule gold advantage. Are they going to throw it away, though? Jacka falls down to about half health in the enemy jungle. Invading just a bit. Nintendo Dex has been contested several steps of the way through this game, either in counter ganks in his jungle or even in the enemy jungle, since he's been trying dearly to counter jungle here. Oh, Daydreamin caught out by Void Boss, takes a lot of damage, but grabs Void Boss in, and they're able to burst him down. Super Mega Death Rocket does find the kill onto Daydreamin, but that's only the support traded for the jungler. Warmogger comes in from the side, but has to go down immediately. Charm missing again. Palefire not able to land these two consistently, not finding the kill onto either Boblols or Sunar. And this could actually be a lot of turret damage, since Palefire is the only one here defending it. Nintendo Dex went over to take the blue buff, because the blue buff is going to be so important here. But that was a little bit of sarcasm, but to be honest, even if he had stayed mid, I doubt he could have defended up the turret. At least he claimed that blue buff, so it wasn't up for the stealing. Ooh, the Grand Skyfall coming in to try and save the turret. He's going to clear out quite a few minions with that. And that's a good technique to keep a bit of health on there. Now, it'll be a lot more difficult to run in and one hit. However, by going bottom, they did leave their middle turret up for the taking. Now the turrets are almost evened out. However, with the one taken in the middle, it's now 2-1. The gold neck and neck, just 200 gold, just 200 between them, and that's basically a a couple of words in a potion. Everyone recalling, just trying to keep up on items. As soon as they have enough to buy something, they don't want to fight with a deficit. They instead just they want to play it as safe as they can. Except for Nintendo Dex and Daydreamin, who are going for a little bit of a cheeky bait here. I'm guessing they have a little bit of communication between them since they are both on Team Coast in the Coast Gaming House. They're saying, hey Miles, let's come wait in this bush. Let's wait in this bush. Okay, I guess that's how Josh talks. I'm not exactly sure. Kog'Maw going for the Rylai's Crystal Scepter next. I'm not actually sure which one he's going to finish first, since he did pause his completion of the Archangels to grab the Giant's Belt. Rylai's is a great item on Kog'Maw as well, since it lets you keep people at a range so well with your living artillery. Sunar wishes he could do the same, actually throwing down the Flame Chompers, able to keep this off for a little while. Ace in the hole coming through, and that proves to be Team YOLO's ace in the hole. Palefire taking way too much damage. Living artillery doesn't quite find him. He flashes in and forces a flash out of Palefire. Boblo's now dealing some massive damage. Dragon Raider just trying to lifesteal back up from some of that. Boblos has to be careful he didn't go in too far. Palefire Spirit rushes in, takes a lot of damage, but is still alive. Orb of Deception not going to be enough to finish him off, and he does fall. Jaka forced to flash over the wall as well. That is a 1-for-1 in this fight. Nintendo Dex wants to make it a 2-for-1. He lands the slow, and Jaka is pressed for an escape. Daydreamin, if he can land this rocket grab, will make it an easy kill. He doesn't even need it. He'll just grab it with his passive, that static field, netting him his first kill of the game. Up in the top lane, Void Boss was able to get in for a gank on the Warmogger. They not only grabbed the kill, but a turret as well. And with that, they will keep themselves in the gold lead just by 400. The turrets are in Team 420's favor. They've kept their top and bottom lane secure for now, although it's close. And if Warmogger or Dragon Raider get it in their heads to bring it down, it could turn the gold back in their advantage. Looking at some of these builds, we have Rumble going for the Landers, which will really help burn down in these fights if he can't get in immediately. If he throws out an ult and then stays safe, the Landers will help burn them down until a point where he can safely go in. Since there's so much damage on the blue team, he has to be careful about his method of engagement. If he goes in too far to try and burst everyone down, then he's going to meet up with Nintendo Dex, Warmogger, and Palefire, which could be a little bit more than he's bargaining for. There's the Rylai's actually completed on Boblos before the Archangel's Staff. So he's just going to keep stacking up the Tear of the Goddess while opting for the health and the slow from the Rylai's over the shield and damage from a Seraph's Embrace. Most likely go... Oh, actually, no, with the Ruby Crystal, he's going to hold off on the Seraphs for a while here. Oh, Jaka and Sunar going in pretty far, dealing a lot of damage, Dragon Raider, but the barrier going to be enough to save that, and Nintendo Dex coming in from this side for cleanup crew. Somebody give this man a mop, because the janitor is in town. Jaka tries to headbutt Daydreamin away, but he will fall to the double kill of Nintendo Dex. Palefire picking up a kill of his own on the Void Boss, I believe. Oh, Boblo's ace in the hole to the face, and that Rylai is actually proving to give him a good amount of health. Now he's looking for the slow on the Palefire to open this up for Mega Zero to come in. Mega Zero has the equalizer ready. He's looking for the chance to throw it down. There's the Flame Spitter onto Daydreamin, and I don't think Daydreamin will escape. Boblos picks up the kill there. Oh, Electro Harpoon almost connecting. The slow finally there from the Living Artillery. The equalizer right on top of them. Palefire tries to turn around. Boblos is still... Whoa. The power just surged. That was weird. Okay, that was trippy. Like my body felt weird when that was happening. Okay, I think I'm good now. What just went on? Is the stream still up? Okay, yeah, you guys can just see it lagging a little bit. Okay, all right, guys. Gonna bring it around. Bring it around. Dragon coming over here to Team 420. Just keeping this gold so close. Daydreamin might even it out there with the static field. This little reindeer just gonna run right back home. Surprise! Merry Christmas. Boom. All things that reindeer Kog'Maw probably didn't say, but probably meant.